Hi, good afternoon, Victory Heights Primary School. I hope you have had a fantastic morning with activities to do with International Day and finding out about all of the 66 different nationalities that we have here at our wonderful primary school. It was wonderful to see the assembly this morning and the wake and shake. Thank you, Miss Chelsea, for taking us all around the world and getting up and getting alive this morning. And it was great to see so many different flags. And I was wondered by all of the amazing costumes as I stood at the gate this morning. So I hope you found and collected lots and lots of facts and figures about the countries that we're all from. And so this afternoon, we have got a very, very special guest. Now, one of the things we like to do at our school is to connect, meet other people that are in the same mindset of us about being positive, about spreading happiness, about being ambassadors of respect and making sure that we make this world a little bit brighter. So I am very honoured, very blessed to be able to welcome live in the studio with us this afternoon to Mr. Khalid Ameri. How are you? Are you there, Khalid?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Miss Sasha. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so lovely to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you. Now, you are known for being ridiculously positive, for being known for so contagiously excited about life. You obviously clearly love living here in the UAE, and you're very committed to developing and spreading a universal language of tolerance, friendship and respect. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, I've been reading this story, and so tell us a bit about your story.
So, I'll start at the beginning. My name is Khalid Al-Amri. I'm a video creator from the United Arab Emirates. Half like yourself. I'm half Emirati, and my mother is from Scotland. I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi. I went to an American high school. I went to study for college in the United Kingdom. I worked on ships for a couple years. I worked in an office for a few more years. My family and I moved to the States when we had both our children. So my wife, Salama, who's also a content creator and video creator, and our two boys, Khalid and Abdullah. We went to America for 2 years. I studied my master's. I came back to the UAE, and then I worked with CNN. I did a 1-month program show with them for Ramadan. I fell in love with, I always knew I wanted to be in media. I always knew that I wanted to be in front of the camera and present, and CNN was my first opportunity. And after that, I got a lot of confidence. I quit my job to do it. I came up with a concept for a show that I wanted to do and started presenting it to different TV channels. None of them wanted it. So my wife Salama bought me my first camera and told me, you've got YouTube, you've got Facebook, you've got all these places that you could put your videos, go and do it. So we did it on our own, and alhamdulillah, now we have an audience across our channels of over 10 million amazing people and supporters. And this is what I love to do. This is what we all love to do as a family, and it makes us so happy that you can to find out that you're able to do something that you love and earn a living from it. And I just love telling stories. I love filming stories. I love entertaining. So it makes me so happy. I think I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Well, there's actually a couple of things that you mentioned there, Khalid, which is very much the essence of what Victory Heights Primary School is about. We are a resilient bunch. We're aware that you have to work hard and have to get over some challenges, etc. So you sound like you had to be resilient there in order for your dreams to come true, and you get some knockbacks, but you have to get back up and down, etc. And also what you said about communicating and telling stories. We always have an oracy focus because we believe even in this age of technology that telling stories, communicating, connecting with people, expressing your opinions, being empathetic is really important. So we've got Fluent Functional February, we've had Jabber January, we've had Natter November. So some of those things that you're talking about are very kindred spirits here for us here at Victory Heights Primary School. So you say that you're obviously into telling stories, and I know myself sometimes we love to be on top form, but how do you deal with a bad day, Khalid? When you're known for being so positive and and spreading happiness, but how do you deal with a bad day when you feel a little bit out of sorts?
Yeah, that's a great question. Just to give a bit of I want to go back to something, because I know that when I talk to students, when I talk to youth, a lot of them are excited about the opportunity to, become a YouTuber, become a content creator, become a video creator. And I'm gonna tell you, it is one of the hardest jobs I've ever done in my life. When you want to do it right. So for us, whether we're doing a comedy video, whether we're doing a vlog that sort of educates people on certain things, we have to write the story, we have to come up with the concept, we have to go out there and film. That could sometimes take 1 or 2 days, and it starts from the first thing in the morning and to the end of the night. People might not know, we did 500 videos every single day, every
Wow.
single day. Whether we were sick, 500 every single day, because we wanted to because we didn't have any other opportunity. Nobody wanted to take our show, so we had to do it on our own. So if we weren't working, then you start sitting around and worrying, right? So if you think about when you've got an exam coming up, when do you worry? You worry when you're sitting around doing nothing. But when you're studying and working, you might still be worried, but it'll be less.
Yeah.
So for us, it was the hardest work we've ever done. I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted, but it is the best job in the world for me, to be able to wake up and do the things that you love, and tell stories, and do YouTube and stuff. It's an incredible job, but it is the hard, if you want to do it right, because the people that will pick up a camera and just show you what they're doing in the day, that's fine, but that only works for so long, because now people are going on these places and they want to be informed, they want to be entertained. They don't really want to know what you had for lunch. So for me, it's becoming a harder job, because the entertainment world is moving into YouTube and all those places, because that's where people go for entertainment now. So you have to be able to, for me, I don't look at ourselves as a team, as Sarama and I, and as our team. When people say, like, I'm not competing against other YouTubers, I'm not competing against other people. I want to compete against CNN. I want to compete against Nat Geo. I want our platforms to be like that, and that takes a lot of hard work. Now,
so where do you find that strength when you're feeling really tired and exhausted? How do you pick yourself up after an exhausting day?
So there's two things. Number one, I've lived a life where I would wake up every morning, going to work, and not being happy. And it is a hard feeling to deal with. Imagine, from the very moment you wake up, you're not happy with what you're about to do with your life, with where you're about to go, and then you just sit in this job where you're not feeling fulfilled. So with the work that I do now, I have this gratitude that I'm being blessed with the opportunity to do the work that I want to do the work that I love to do. So I'm going to give it everything I have. So when I wake up in the morning, I automatically have this feeling of, yeah, let's go. This is what you wanted. This is everything you love. Now give it everything you've got. But, I understand there are going to be days where you just don't want to do it. There are going to be days where you're just exhausted, where you're just feeling, tired, maybe, emotionally exhausted, and all those things. So they're one of two things. Number one is I sometimes, I'll lean into that. Okay, maybe I am exhausted. Maybe I am tired. Maybe I need some time for me and my family to just, settle down, relax. And that's okay. Like, a lot of people think, it's wrong to feel. It's not wrong to feel that way. But what's wrong is if you feel that way and you're not recognizing it. and you're ignoring
Absolutely.
it, because what happens is it builds up. So number one is if I know I'm emotionally exhausted, if all that, then I'll take the rest that I need, because if I work instead of taking that rest, my work suffers, my
Yeah.
creativity suffers. That's number one. Number two, if I'm being what's the other word? Lazy. If I'm being lazy, for me, the most important thing to do is to get into the space where I want to create. So, for example, those days when I was doing the 500 videos, believe me, there were more days that I didn't want to film than when I did want to film. So, what I would do is I would put the camera on. I would turn the camera on, because that's the hardest part. Getting ready like this and putting the camera on. That's the hardest part. So, getting started is like, for example, going to the gym. You know, everyone says the hardest part of going to the gym is getting ready to go to the gym. Because
Yeah.
once you're ready, you're committed. So for me, it's a psychological thing for me. If I'm lazy, I'll get up, I'll put on my clothes, I'll put the camera on, I'll start practicing a few things, testing a few things, then I'm in the zone, then I start. Because and you have to understand, like for me especially, you know, I look at this as you know, you've only got one shot at this. You know,
Yeah.
I'll never forget a line that I was told is people live their life as if they're going to get a second chance at it, or as if they're going to get, as if this is just a practice life, and then they'll have another life to sort of fix everything and do everything right the second time.
Yeah.
We all only have one life. And the more that we recognize that this is not a practice life, this is not a test life, the more that you think that, let me give it everything I've got.
Yeah.
Because when I do that, I go to sleep knowing I've given it everything I got. I go to sleep happy. I go to sleep satisfied. I go to sleep knowing that I'm one step closer to where I want to be.
I can definitely relate to that what you're talking about gratitude, you know, about being grateful for the
100%.
little things as well as the big achievements. I think is really important. I've started to say my gratitudes before I get out of bed in the morning, you know, just to sort of, you know, I'm thankful for the house that I live in. I'm thankful that my son is healthy. I'm thankful for the wonderful school that I work with. So I agree. We need to also, you know, take perspective and be grateful. And we are very grateful about living here in the UAE. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that we've got 66 different nationalities here at Victory Heights Primary School. And I'd like to introduce you now to our head boy, Carl Alcorn, and our head girl, Annabelle Kahesi. And they've got some questions for you. Hi, guys. Are you there in the studio? Hello, hello.
Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Carl.
Okay, guys. So, Annabelle, do you want to start with your question for Khalid, please?
Why is the UAE so special to you?
That's a great question, Annabelle. For me, the UAE is special for two big reasons. Number one, I truly believe that this is a country where everyone can come and feel at home. Feel at home with their community, feel at home with the religion that they practice, feel at home with the people that they love. And that's why we're a country where you have like every nationality coming here and being able to start a life. So for me, what's special about this country is the ability for people to come and just live here happily and be protected by the country, by the communities. And for me, when you have that safety, people just feel this warmth and love to the country. That's number one. The second thing that I love about this country is we're not afraid to take chances. We're not afraid to dream big. We're not afraid to take risks. We're not afraid to be first. We're not afraid for people to go, oh, these people are crazy. You know, what are they doing? Sending something to Mars. But you know, as Steve Jobs said, it's the crazy ones that change the world. It's the crazy ones that change the way we look at the world and change the way that we live. And you know, people around the world, I mean, we all read the news. People around the world, for some reason, when anything goes wrong in the world, they like to take a stab at Dubai. They like to take a stab at the UAE. Why, right? And why do they do that? And for me, it's because if you're not if you're not doing good in what you do, then you try and take a stab at the people that are, to try and bring them down. So for me, the way I always look at things is we're always focused on getting better, on making our country better, on making the lives of everyone, yourselves, everyone who lives here better, and inspiring everyone to live lives where they're not afraid to take chances. And that's why people come to Dubai to take chances, because they know that when the country's like that, it goes into the culture and the people, and that's why you see so many incredible things coming out of the UAE. And that's why I love living here. That's why I love that my family and everyone are going to grow here. That's why I love that all of you are here too.
I think we can definitely relate, Carl and Annabelle, can't we? I mean, we've had some crazy ideas as a little school over the last 8 years. I think we've been known as the crazy ones, so we're definitely in the right place on the map here at Victory Heights Primary School, because we're known for being a little bit different, a little bit of method in our madness, what we like to do. But something that's in all of us here, whether it's on lanyards or whether it's on our badges, which is basically to get up, have a go, and believe, and to be strong and take a risk. Carl, what's your question for Khalid?
My question is, what inspired you to do videos on social media?
That's a great question. So number one, I did it on social media. I guess the short answer is because no one else would put my videos on their TV channel. So that's the short answer. But the long answer, I guess, or the longer answer, I'll try and keep it brief, is when I do social media, videos on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, I'm connecting directly with people. People are leaving comments on what they think, on their experiences, on their thoughts, on a certain topic. And I'm able to connect to people directly and hear their concerns and hear their thoughts, and then understand what are the stories that need to be told. And if you look at Hollywood, and if you look at the news, sorry, Sadava's coming through, so I need to move. So if you look at Hollywood and you look at the news, I'm sure we all see that they show our country, and they show, our region, and they show our religion in a certain way. Not usually positive. It's usually in a negative way for some weird reason. I don't know why. Because there's a lot of great things happening in this part of the world. But they always tend to focus on the negative. And I always thought, isn't there a positive aspect? So if no one's going to talk about it, I think I will. And that's why whenever someone will give me a comment like, Khalid, you focus a lot on the positive stuff. Why don't you talk about the negative? I'm like, you just need to turn on any news channel. You'll get all you need there. Why do I need to talk about it? They're doing a great job at that. So for me, nothing inspires me more than seeing a story that's just either false or just a negative perception, and just showing who we really are as people. And nothing makes me happier than when I see comments of people in America, Australia, Europe, when they say we had a certain perception of Arabs, of Muslims, of your country. And just by you showing us either a Sikh temple or a church, or interviewing British people who were going through the vaccine trials, or interviewing, people from different continents and different parts of the world, and showing what they're doing in this country, completely changed the perception. And now people are telling me they're going to visit. Now people are telling me they're going to move here. Now people are going to tell me they want to experience this firsthand. And for me, if I stop today, that's the work that's going to make me the proudest. And whenever I hear a comment like that, it inspires me to work harder.
I think, Khalid, there's so many words that you've used that, again, are so kindred to our spirit here at Victory Heights, in terms of, of being tolerant, of being respectful, of listening to people's stories and understanding their perspective. And definitely, bringing out the best in each other is something that we try to do as a school. And I think International Day is we haven't got the food stalls this year because of social distancing. We haven't got some of the other physical activities, but what I think is the true essence of it is what you're talking about as well, is that kind of connectivity of being, of appreciating and being grateful for for our friends, our extended family here, of being able to bring so many different stories and perspectives and awareness and understanding of religion and of race and tradition to the table without all of the other fussy stuff. Today we just to focus on what's true. I think actually, guys, listening to some of the questions that we had prepared, I think we've covered quite a lot, right? Would you say, or is there anything else that you think that we've missed? I think we've covered quite a lot. Are you guys happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As long as they're happy, I'm happy.
I want to take a picture. I haven't taken a picture.
Oh, yay!
All right, wait, hold on. Sorry. All right, ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Yeah. Now, just as we finish, because I know that it's always interesting. People, think they know you. I mean, I was telling you earlier, just when we first met, that not many people know that I could have had a different flag on the other side of my hair today, because my dad is actually Sudanese and he's from Khartoum, and my mum is English. She's British. So what do people not know about you, Mr. Influencer?
I think when people see me and see Sanama and our family, they assume that we're very rich. Or they assume that, my family had a lot of money growing up, which was not the case. My dad, my parents come from very humble beginnings. We came from struggle. My dad worked for every dirham he earned. When my dad and mom were in the UK, when my dad was studying there, my mom had to work in a old people's home in the laundry department, cleaning sheets and stuff, to be able to save money to get a ticket to come here. So that gives an idea of just where they were in terms of their finances. So a lot of people think that because we're Emirati, because we were born into a lot of money, but what they don't know is, and that's where I get my work ethic from. My dad worked for every dirham, never asked for anything in his life. We had a very, when we were growing up, we had a very old car, no fancy cars, no fancy furniture, no fancy home. We worked for everything that we've got. And and I appreciate that because I wasn't given anything. Even now till today, people think that for some reason I woke up and had millions of followers on social. We worked for every single thing that we've got. We were given nothing, and I'm trying to teach the same to my kids, to work hard for everything, and that's the lesson that I will give to all of you. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you're going to have to work hard to get the things that you really want in life. And we all think that we deserve something. That's not true. You work for what you get, and what you gain is from the effort that you put in this world. So if you want to be the best.
Yeah, no, go on, because I was going to say to you, just to sum up, what would be your message to our children here on International Day? And I think you're naturally weaving it into the end there. I mean, I think it's key. We're not breeding any entitlement here at Victory Heights Primary School. Our kids know that they need to train hard to win those races. They need to be able to work hard on their handwriting. They need to learn their times tables. Nobody else is going to do it for them. Our little FS children, they got to put their coats and their cardigans and their bags and carry them themselves at 3, So we try to start that ethic on right from the beginning. But I think you're absolutely right. You've clearly you're obviously very, very wealthy with happiness, though, Khalid.
Alhamdulillah. No, money. We're just talking about that with Khalifa the other day. He was asking me, Dad, are we ever gonna get a Lamborghini? And then we had this discussion. We
they're so noisy. They're so noisy. God, you don't need one of them.
But one message that I would also like to leave, if I can have just a minute,
sure,
is one of the things that Sarama and I do a lot on TikTok is we focus on the safety of people who use it, and we do a lot of work with different organizations on helping youth, on anti-bullying, on the use of social media and using it responsibly. And someone who's using social media as a career, I just want to give a couple of things. Number one, I'm not trying to say that we weren't crazy as kids. The only difference is we didn't record everything that we did. And remember that when you record things and it goes online, it's there forever. And you want to carry yourself, you want to have a life, you want to go to great universities, you want to work in certain places, you want to meet great people, and you never want any of these videos of something that you thought was funny or something that you thought was important to say, but like you didn't have the right way of saying it and it was taken out of context and all these things. So all I can urge you all is to be careful of what you post on social media. It may seem funny and innocent today, but believe me, it might. There are stories that I can share for days that we've researched where someone gets into the college of their dreams, like a college that could change their life, and then they get it denied because of a social media video that came out from their past. So that's number one. And number two, I urge you all, to always be there for each other, to help people. I think that's something that's beautiful in the UAE is we're always going out of our way to help each other, to help our like various institutions, to help various individuals, and we always want to, be able to come together as a community, and help people who feel singled out, to help people who feel like they don't have a certain path in this world. And I say this because, Salama and I, our youngest son, Abdullah, is on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
So we are doing everything that we can and working, because at the beginning we were worried about him and his future, but I think we were worried about the wrong thing. What we're worried about now is how society and the community and the schools and everything are going to be able to support him when he comes into the world. And it's only by us working together to help each other every single day that we create a better world for everyone, where everyone feels safe, where everyone feels welcome, where every idea and every sort of individual uniqueness that you have about you is accepted. And that we may not always agree on things, and that we may not always see eye to eye. What you think is cool, I might not think is cool. What you think is weird, I might not think is weird. But at the end of the day, what ties us all together is that mutual respect for each other, and that's what keeps people safe. So on International Day, I want you guys to just think about what you could do for each other, what you could do to bring your community together in ways, and how you can help people who just need a hand to be reached out to them. And that's how you create a better world. And in the process, you build yourself into a better human being. Thank you all so much for having me. And thank you, Ms. Sasha, for this. It's been an incredible opportunity.
I can't tell you how wonderful the last half hour has been. I knew it would be exciting meeting you, but it's so fantastic to hear somebody else endorsing so many of the things that our children work so hard on, and always keep at the spirit of our school up there in terms of importance of the values of things that money can't buy. And I think, like you said, on International Day, it's an important reflection time to be grateful and to connect with each other, and to accept people for their differences, and everything that you've said has rung so true with us. I cannot thank you enough for joining us and spending that time. So will you say your thing, and I'll hold my heart up before the children are going to join in with a song afterwards, and then we'll disappear. But what do you always say, Khalid? What do you always say?
Thank you all for having me. Much love and God bless. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Join in with the song, everyone. I'm starstruck. Okay, let's get singing, because this is our home and this is where we want to be, right here in the UAE. Have a fantastic half term, everybody. Thank you for being so wonderful, as you all are. As I always say, you are a delicious bunch, and I'm so proud to be the principal of Victory Heights Primary School. So get your singing voices on. Let's hit it.